Right. Good evening, everyone. So we have done how many life cycles? How many plant life cycles so far? 4 plant life cycles. What are they? Firstly, we learned about Pogonatum, Telegenella, Neprolepis, cycles. Hi. So, what is the specialty in Pogonatum life cycle? Gametophytic generation is dominant. Hi. Rest of the 3 life cycles, sporophytic generation is dominant, which is good to the land. Sporophytic generation. Hi. Throughout the time period, that means starting from Prognathum, Selaginella, Neprolepis, and Cycas. What were the evolutionary trends that you saw which are good for the land environment? Yeah, plant body was differentiated into root stems and leaves. Yeah, now the external water is not needed for fertilization in Cycas life cycle. What else? Seeds are formed. What's the importance of having a seed? It is important for dispersal. Otherwise, if it was spores, there's a higher chance of drying and desiccating, right? Then it comes to other features. What are the other important features that were evolved? Vascular tissues developed. Then pollination started. What else? Heterosporous nature is introduced. What else? Yeah, more adapted to the terrestrial environment in the aerial parts, that means the above ground parts of the plant, had so many important features to protect from the excess sunlight, such as cuticle is developed, stomata is developed for gaseous exchange. Those things evolve, right? Isn't it? Hi. Hi. We'll be asking few questions from you. No one is there online. I don't know whether they are listening. They can hear me or not. I'll ask from them. Meanwhile, I'll give some questions for you guys from the previous life cycles. Okay. Anything wrong? Number 6. Nephrolepis. Scientific names, as soon as you write, please underline, okay? The first letter should be capital in the generic name. Don't forget that. This kind of question, I put this question on purpose. This is asking, discuss how cycles female gametophyte is different from prognathum female gametophyte. You have to write about only cycles female gametophyte, how it is different from that, right? It's not a comparison, right? Okay. For the coming up paper also, there are a few questions like that. So write only one side according to the question, okay? If it is asking you to write the differences between, you have to write the both sides. This is not like that. So the rest of the lesson, third unit, I'll be finishing plants today. Rest of the lesson, the animalia part will be done online during the same day that you have the paper. In the night, I will be discussing the rest of the lesson, okay? Because I can't come physically, so you'll be offered 2 classes along with the paper, right? Okay. Mm, both the papers in the sense? Yeah, only up to second unit. Right? This week we have this one. Probably I may not be able to come week after also because paper marking going continuously. If it's so, I'll be sending one more paper. Please write. The paper is important. I'll be marking and giving everything. Okay? All right? Yeah. Our paper marking this time English medium. One paper panel is there at Ananda College. So we have to go there and we have to stay there and mark. You want to know anything about paper marking? It's not a mandatory. We can keep the phone, but we are not usually doing anything as such. We can't take copies or photo, like anything in the papers. We can't do, but you can answer calls. You can text. That thing can be done. Anything else about papers? You don't have questions about how paper marking is done? Do you know how it is being done actually? Your papers are usually marked by one marker, and then it will be given to second marker. Second marker is also going through your answers. So if I have missed some point, that one will be noticing and giving marks. If I have given something mark for a like wrong point, she will be cutting that mark. Okay, both things can be happen. So if your scores are really good, sometimes No, randomly, the panel head is also marking papers. So some of your papers will be going to her, or she or he as well. And also, if your marks are really good, professor also will be looking at your papers. So yeah, he is happy to see some good papers and he's trying to give some marks. It's not always like to reduce marks. If you are closer to 74, 75, so it's trying to give Fs, okay? And especially the first paper, you can score like at least half, no? So try to get marks from the first paper, full mark, and then go for the second one. Second one, structured as a very strictly marked. You have to write exact definitions and exact wordings. Everything should be followed. And regarding essays, I think I have given instructions, no? In the comparison, not to write as separate paragraph. In the same point, you have to discuss two sides and no table format, no point format. 10% marks will be deducted if you have written like that in the essay questions. Those things are there. If there's anything special, I'll let you know after the marking. Single medium marking is done already. So the English medium ones are starting just now. Chemistry and biology together. So in 2 years, yours also will be marked. Your exam time will be on schedule time because there's no delay, no? I don't know about 2025, what will happen. Still, they are starting their first term, no? 13 first term. You know what the funniest part is? You know, like some children are going to certain entertaining classes now. Some said that they have written all these points also in the market papers also. Funny things that they are telling which is not related to syllabus. Did you go through the marking scheme that I have given? The first 2 pages, actually, you can do that structured essay. Did you try? No, I gave it. You didn't collect from the class, ne? You can get it now. Didn't you collect? Yeah, go and collect. Tell the paper and marking scheme you want. Go and get it. What thing? No, I thought everyone is having. ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಂಗ ಕಾಡದ ಮಾದಿ ಪುತ್ತೆ ಕಾಡದ ನತ್ತೆ who don't have one. Oh, I'll give. Here, I'll give. Usually I have one. The other thing is this is original marking scheme until the marking is finished. That means 2 weeks after you can share with anyone. Don't share it with anyone else until then. Okay. So especially go through the marking scheme. Go through the points that I have written in pen. Those are the important points that professor usually says not to do this or do this. All right. Okay. These are the very special points. Right. Okay. Hurry. So in the third unit, are you done with this one? Done. So now you guys have almost done the content which is relevant to the first term test. That means end of the third unit is usually the cut point of the first term test. Okay. All right. So we have already started some part of fourth unit also. Fourth unit also a bit kind of informative stuff is there. So I'll be doing with descriptions, right? So don't worry, I will take little time, but still that is need to be analyzed properly and questions to be done, right? So those there are so many essay questions have come in the history. So you have to get ready for that as well. Okay. Anyone recently had your exams at school? Not yet? Hmm. 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 No. March is actually the correct time. Ours we had early. With the second unit only now we have. March is the correct time. Are you done? Shall we discuss? What is a seed? Seed is the dispersal unit of seed plants which contains the embryo and stored food surrounded by the seed coat. Did you write that answer? All right, mark it if it is correct. Asking what is the significance of development of seed? You have to write this. Seed habit has a strategy for life on land. The presence of seed coat helps to survive in extreme conditions. Food reserves provide nourishment to the embryo during development. I'm reading page number 149. Dormancy period helps to survive during unfavorable conditions. What's the meaning of dormancy period, children? Seeds are staying for some time before germination until the favorable conditions come. Okay. Adaptations for dispersal give better chance for growth, development, and survival. Right? They can go for different places other than the nearby area to the plant. Page number 149 in the middle. If you have not written the answer, please write it now. Anyone to write? Should I wait? I gave one paper last week, ne? Did you do? Which one paper? We'll discuss. Name two genera. General. Answer should be right accordingly. Genera is asked of plants found in phylum Lycophyta. What are the two plants? Selaginella, Nephrolipis. No other answers, right? Sorry, not Nephrolipis, Lycopodium. Scientific names with correct spellings. Then only you are getting marks. Okay. Right. Then what plants are known as hepatophytes? Marcantia. Let me check the spellings one more time. CHA, the Marcantia. Yes. Write the features of Pognatum sporophyte. What are we writing? Yeah, consist of what? Oh, tell the full answer. Foot, seta, and capsule. What else? Yes, dependent on the female gametophyte. Right, then I'm describing, I added some points from third unit also. What are they? Photosynthetic when young, having stomata, isn't it? Write down these and I'll erase to write the answers for the rest of the questions. Fine. Right, I'm erasing the first part. Right, write the features of nephrolipid gametophyte. What do we write for that? Independent, photosynthetic, what else? Yes. Monoecious, what else? Heart shape, thallus, isn't it? Underside, what are the things present? Archegonia, Antheridia, rhizoids. Did anyone try comparisons? Good. Only one said yes. Where are the others? Why didn't you write? You look like there's no question exists like that. No. Cyclosimil gametophyte different from cognatum female. So how cycles gametophyte is different from cognatum gametophyte? It's microscopic. Cognatum is macroscopic. It's visible, isn't it? How? Having pollen chamber, archegonial chamber, that was not there in cognatum female gametophyte. Then having nucellus, cycle, sorry, cognatum one was dominant stage of the life cycle. This is reduced structure, right? Not photosynthetic. What else? Dependent on what? Totally dependent on sporophyte. So Imaza, how is your progress now? Good. Were you able to watch previous recordings also? What about you, Saviru? Can I erase? All right, so we are going to the big life cycle. What is it? Life cycle of anthophytes, flowering plants, right? So we are not going to discuss specific genera of plants. This is the common life cycle, okay? I think in the TUD, the topic was different. I have mistakenly put it as cycles or something. Just check. If it is wrong, correct it. The topic was different, wrong. Did you correct it? Ah, it's okay then. There was some mistake. I don't remember at least. All right. So what do you think in the anthophytes? The dominant stage is sporophytic generation. So many plants that we see outside are the sporophytes of anthophytes, right? Let's say you are going outside and seeing a coconut tree, that's the sporophyte. And if you are seeing a mango tree, that is the sporophyte that you are seeing. Many plants that are available nowadays are anthophyte. Does it mean that other plants are not existing? They are also there, but those who are well adapted to the land environment is now dominant plants on the earth also. Right. So I'm going to draw the sporophyte, not a specific one, just the usual tree that we are drawing. That is photosynthetic, independent, sporophyte. So if I ask you whether this sporophyte is monoecious or dioecious, what would you say? Think well, okay? Think about the cycle's life cycle. Now guess this is whether monoecious or dioecious. So if it is to be dioecious, two types of spores should be produced. Those should be there in two different plants. Now these are flowering plants. In the flower only, these spores are produced. All right? Now think, I'm now giving the clue. What do you think? Okay. Yes, that's the clue. There are some plants which are having male and female plants separately. Those are dioecious. Some plants, they have both of them together. So those are monoecious. So in the anthophyta, sporophytes that can be monoecious or dioecious. Remember that, okay? All right. So there's a special structure which is formed in this anthophyta. That is the most significant structure in this life cycle. What is it? Flower. So we are going to draw a flower here. This part is the female part of the flower. This we call it as what? Gynecium, right? Right. So we are going to label this. What is this part? You know this in all of us, no? Isn't it? Stigma. Then what is this? Style. And what is this? Ovary. In the ovary, ovules are there. So this three would be making the female part. This is also called as carpel also. Also is the gynecium. Alright. Then we are going to draw this one. What are these structures? Altogether, this is androecium, the male part of the plant. So this is the filament. Then what is the other one? And this is also called stamen androecium. Okay. Then the rest of the structures. What are these? These are petals. What is the green color stuff? What are these? Sepals. Right. So this is the flower. What is the ploidity level, children? N or 2N? 2N, yes. Hi. This life cycle is a bit complicated. It is the Hi. I'm taking an arrow from this one. So this is the anther. You are going to cut it from here, right? So it is giving out a structure like this with 4 pollen chambers. Right? These are called pollen chambers. Right. What do you guess? What are inside this pollen chamber? Pollen grains. Actually, these are microspore mother cells, not pollen grains, right? Then what is going to happen now? They will undergo meiosis, will produce spores, microspores. These are the pollens, okay? Got it? Then I'm going to this side. Right. Taking an arrow from this ovary. Inside the ovary, what should be there? According to that side, megaspore mother cells should be there. Then megaspore mother cell will undergo meiosis and produce haploid megaspores. As I told you, there was a specialty when formation of megaspores in cycas. What was the specialty there? Think now. Yeah, only one functional megaspore is produced. Out of one, only one functional. Okay? Got it? Sorry? This side, from one, how many would be produced? 4. And from 1,4, there are more microsome other cells inside this. This will be forming more. Right. So now what is going to happen? Any guesses? Pollination going to happen. Right. So I didn't finish this side. Megaspore is now going to get developed into female gametophyte. Yes, good. Is it visible this side? Yes, you can see, no? Haploidic level? Haploid, no? Yes. So this is having a special gametophyte that was not seen in previous life cycle, which is the smallest gametophyte out of all the life cycles that we learned. Microscopic, very simple. Compared to the previous cycles one, this is very simple, having only few cells. One big cell. Inside that, one egg cell is there with the nucleus. And there are 3 antipodal cells with 2 synergids. Also, in the middle, there are 2 nuclei called polar nuclei. Got it? This structure is also known as embryo sac. Got it? I didn't label this. What are these nuclei? Polar nuclei. What is this structure? Egg cell. Right? This is haploid. N plus N is there, okay? There are 2 nuclei. Right. And what are these above cells? Antipodal cells. New names, okay? Then what are these 2? Synergids. Is it clear, Pute? Hi. So this is the female gametophyte. What is the name of it? Embryo sac. How many cells are there now? Count and see how many cells are there in the structure. No, count properly. 7 cells. How many nuclei are there? 8. 7 cells, 8 nuclei. Remember it very well, okay? Got it? Very simple compared to the previous ones. So this is very advanced evolutionary advanced feature, okay? Got it? Hi. Now the pollen is there. What is going to happen? Pollen is going and depositing on a mature stigma of a plant of the same species. Else, plant of the same plant. Or the same flower, same. That means this pollen can fallen onto the same stigma of the same flower. I'll say one statement. Pollen grains deposit on mature stigma on same flower or another flower from the same plant. What do we call it? Self-pollination. Second statement, pollen grains deposit on the mature stigma of another flower of same species. Cross-pollination. Got it now? It doesn't pollinate if it fallen on another species. Okay, it should be same species. So now pollination would happen. Now pollen is here. Okay, can see now? Right. Now it is going to grow a pollen tube inside this. I'll draw it clearly on somewhere here. Now this is here. The pollen is growing with the pollen tube. It's not branching like in the case of cycas. It's having two nuclei here inside. One nuclei is the tube nucleus. The other one is generative nucleus. Understood? So the tube nucleus is allowing the pollen tube to grow until it reaches to the micropyle of the ovule. Like in the previous one, do you remember? There was micropyle in the previous case also. So until this reaches to the micropyle of the ovule. So now this is growing inside. Let's say it's now here. When it reaches here, the tube nucleus disappears. Hey, don't sleep. Sayana පාඩම් කරලා නිදිනේ සාවෙනු. නිදා ගන්න වෙලාව සාවෙනු. හරි? හරි. Tube nucleus is now, what happened to tube nucleus, Savinu? Disappeared, right? I like you disappeared from the class. And the generative nucleus, what is happening to the generative nucleus? Is divided into two. Two sperm nuclei. Previous cases, it was a cell. Now it's a nuclei only. Evolutionary more advanced. Only nuclei are there. So better I would draw this here. Ne? I'll draw that one again here. Inside that, now two sperm nuclei are there. Now, there are two sperm nuclei. One sperm nucleus then going and fertilizing with what protein? Egg cell. Forming zygote, diploid zygote. This one is a bit complicated. I can't complete this one, okay? Zygote 2N. Then one sperm nuclei fused with two polar nuclei, forming endosperm. What's the probability level now? 2N and 3N. 3N endosperm. N plus N plus N. 3N endosperm. Now, this is a very significant feature here, which was not there in the previous life cycles. This is called double fertilization. Two fertilizations occur simultaneously. What's the importance of it? As soon as the egg is fertilized, the food source also produced. If the egg is not fertilized, no food source is produced. It is preventing wastage of resources. So what will happen to the zygote then? Will become embryo, then will produce sporophyte. I'm not completing this one because can't complete this one now. This is more complicated. Draw this one, okay? Now you know what's happening now. This is seed and it is producing fruit. That is the other important thing, right? So it is producing fruit if the fertilization occurs. What will happen if the fertilization did not occur? The flower will fall away, right? Okay? Oh no? Let's draw nicely. Anything not clear? That side, no need to draw again. Generative nucleus and tube nucleus is there, and it is then when it reaches to the microfile of the ovule, the tube nucleus disappears. The generative nucleus divides into two sperm nuclei. That's what I wanted to say. No need to draw both times. You can draw only one. Okay. Here. Hmm. Ovary, megaspore mother cell, megaspores, female gametophyte. Likewise, you can go. Once it is done, I will draw again and explain what is the second for double fertilization and everything. Okay, please keep it as one paper. I'll just draw it again and show you. If you are done drawing, please start reading the life cycle now. I'll explain the double fertilization one more time. Finish reading? Right. I'll be explaining the fertilization in antiphyta one more time. So now pollen is on the stigma of the flower. That pollination has occurred, right? So pollen is here. Now the pollen is growing a pollen tube along the style, right? When it is going, it is having two nuclei. One nucleus is generative nucleus. Other nucleus is tube nucleus. Understood now? Then what happens is, this is growing furthermore and reaches near the ovule. Alright. Now guess this is having only one ovule. This is what we drew earlier. This is the female plant. Alright. Now when it reaches there, the tube nucleus disappears. It is generating, generative nucleus is generating two nuclei. Those are sperm nuclei. Understood? Now, one nucleus is fertilizes with the egg cell and forming diploid zygote. The other nucleus is fertilizing with the polar nuclei to form the 3N endosperm. Understood now? That is called double fertilization, which is a very important feature in this life cycle. Then only the seed and the fruit is formed. Understood now? I'm also reading this life cycle along with you because there are so many important points. Right, come to this one. Life cycle of flowering plants. Sporophyte is the dominant plant. Gametophytes are short-lived, microscopic, entirely dependent on sporophyte. This embryo sac of this life cycle is completely dependent on sporophyte. Right? Sporophyte produces the reproductive structures called flowers. We'll at that point also there, use a pencil and write there. Sporophyte can be monoecious or dioecious. That means unisexual or bisexual. Next one, a flower is a specialized shoot with four whorls of modified leaves named sepals, petals, stamens, and carpels. Sepals are usually green, enclose and protect the flower before it opens. We have seen it now. Petals are brightly colored. Why the petals are brightly colored? To attract pollinators, no? So in the night, when the flowers are bloomed in night, what is the color usually? White color. So no use of having colors during the night time because pollinators can't see. So what are they using instead? To attract pollinators. Fragrance. It's very nice smells are there in night bloom flowers, no? City. Right. Then it says petals are brightly colored in most flowers and aid in attracting pollinators. But wind pollinated flowers generally lack brightly colored parts. So they don't need. The sepals and petals are sterile floral organs. They do not directly involve in reproduction. Stamens are the microsporophytes. Go to the life cycle at that place where we wrote stamens. That is right there, microsporophytes. That resembles the microsporophytes which were there in the previous life cycles, right? So we are not telling microsporophytes here, actually we are telling stamens, but they are microsporophytes because they are bearing microsporangia. The stamen consists of stalk called filament and two terminal lobes called anther. Anther is made up of microsporangia, pollen sacs. Go to the place where we wrote pollen sacs and write there microsporangia. Pollen sacs are equals to microsporangia. Pollen sacs. When the anther is cut, I told for pollen sacs are formed. Pollen chambers, pollen sacs same. If you want, you can mention it as pollen sacs, but both are same, right? Pollen chambers, pollen sacs same. All right? Containing diploid microspore mother cells which produce haploid microspores by meiosis. Microspores develop into haploid male gametophyte by mitotic division within an anther. Male gametophyte contains two cells, the tube cell and generative cell. Right? They have mentioned it as cells, no? They are actually nuclei, but take as according to into the book, right? Male gametophyte, which is with the above two cells and spore wall constitute a pollen grain. Carpels are the megasporophytes. What is this carpels? When you cut the orange, have you seen that? There are divisions in it. Have you seen that? Let's say this is an orange. You may have seen like this, no? Have you seen? Remember the structure of the megasporophyll of cycas? This was something like this, no? Think that my hand is one megasporophyll. I'm keeping few of them together to form one structure. This is the gynecium of this flower. If it is an orange, it may be consist of few carpels, few microsporophylls together. Think that this is like this. The ovules are going now inside. It was there in the outside before. Now the ovules is going inside with this structure. Understood now? Hi. It says carpels are the megasporophylls. Go to the life cycle and write that also and come. Carpels, gynecium, carpels. Yeah, megasporophytes. Actually, we are not using these previous wordings in the Anthophyta life cycle, but remember they are resembling those structures which was there in the cycles life cycle. Okay. Next one. At the tip of the carpel is a sticky stigma receives the pollens. The swollen base of the carpel forms the ovary. Ovary contains one or more ovules. So, guess what it is, the ovule? Ovule is? Let's see what's happening to the ovule now. A long slender neck called style connects the ovary with stigma. Ovule produces 4 megaspores. So, what should be the ovary? Ovule. Megaspore mother cell. I write it there in the text. Megaspore mother cell is the ovule. Ovule produces 4 megaspores by meiosis, of which one become functional. Functional megaspore develop into the female gametophyte called the embryo sac. It is highly reduced microscopic structure. The mature embryo sac consists of 8 nuclei contained within 7 cells, 3 antipodal cells, 2 polar nuclei in the central cell, 2 synergids and 1 egg. You know how to take the count now? Right. Transfer of pollen grain into mature stigma of same species is known as pollination. In some plant species, pollen grains are transferred from an anther of a flower onto the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant. This is self-pollination. Pollen may be transferred to the stigma of a flower of another plant of the same species. This is cross-pollination, which is good. Cross-pollination, why is that? Yeah, it is allowing shuffling of genes, making new variations. Finally, it will lead to evolution. Next, it says most angiosperm plants are adapted to cross-pollination. You know, like some flowers are having some adaptations to prevent the self-pollination. This is discussed here. Typical characteristics of flowers like such as color and odor, favor cross-pollination. In addition, some plants show special types of adaptations for cross-pollination. Heterostyly, what's the meaning of heterostyly? Stigma and the anther are in two different positions, so that, you know, like if the anther was there above, it is having higher chance of the falling the same plants pollens into the same stigma, no? So they are in different size, sometimes somewhere here, so that there's no chance of putting it again. And then in self-infertility, even if the pollen is pollen on the same stigma, it's not pollinator, it's not growing the pollen tube actually, right? Unisexuality, male female flowers are in separate plants to prevent that. Right? Significance of cross-pollination, this you have to remember really well. Cross-pollination results in cross-fertilization. Cross-pollination allows shuffling of genes within a species, producing new genetic combinations, resulting in increased genetic variation within the species. These features are very important for survival, also might lead to the evolution. How it is helping for survival? If all the plants on the earth, if they were same, what will happen? No competition, true. If one gets disease, everyone would get disease. Everyone would die, no survivor, right? Okay. Fertilization, they have discussed that separately because this is very, very special. What is this fertilization is called? Double fertilization, right? The pollen grain germinates after it is placed on the stigma. It extends a pollen tube that grows down through the style of the carpel. The nucleus of the generative cell divides, forming two sperms. When the pollen tube reaches the ovary, it moves through the micropyle, the pore in the integument of the ovule, and discharges two sperm into the embryo sac. One sperm fuses with the egg cell, forming diploid zygote, and the other sperm nucleus fuses with two polar nuclei. This type of fertilization is called double fertilization, and it is unique to angiosperm. Please keep it highlighted, double fertilization, and it's unique to angiosperms. After double fertilization, the ovule matures into a seed. The zygote develops into the embryo. The triploid nucleus develops into the endosperm that stores food. The significance of double fertilization, that it synchronizes endosperm development with the development of the embryo. If fertilization does not occur, that prevents from wasting of nutrients on infertile ovules. The seed consists of embryo, endosperm, and stored food and a seed coat. Seeds are enclosed in the fruit. Highlight that too. That is also very much unique feature for this angiosperm life cycle. Seeds are enclosed in a fruit. What's the importance of having a fruit, Putte? Dispersal. When someone come and eat the fruit, the seed will go to another place, isn't it? It is important for dispersal. Compared to the cycas seeds, they are naked seeds. Now, angiosperm seeds are more dispersed because of this reason. Fruit is an enlarged and developed ovary, usually after being stimulated by fertilization. Fertilization triggers hormonal changes that cause the ovary to form a fruit. If flower has not been pollinated, fruit does not develop and the entire flower falls away. During fruit development, ovary wall gets converted to pericarp. So let's say you are eating an apple. What you are eating is pericarp. Okay, the outermost layer. Another fruit is also having layers. I'm not going to say that because it's not, they are in your syllabus, but go through the Google and see what are the layers of the fruit. Okay. Next one. In some plants, fruits develop from the ovary without fertilization. This is called parthenocarpy. Have you seen in the roadsides they are selling seedless grapes, seedless oranges? These are from this method. Parthenocarpic fruits do not develop seeds. Parthenocarpy occurs naturally in some species, example banana. Also, it can be induced with plant growth substances to get seedless fruits. The plant growth substance auxin, have you heard? Auxin is used to induce parthenocarpy. Write it there in the book, auxin. Example, grapes and oranges that you see in the roadsides, they are made in this manner, right? That is parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy is seen in plants mostly. In parthenogenesis, that can happen in animals too. Parthenogenesis, the egg is resulted from mitosis and hence it is diploid or haploid ovum fuses with polar nucleus. That means always it's forming two egg. It can be haploid or not. There are different ways of parthenogenesis. I'll discuss these when it comes to your reproduction lesson in 5th unit. Okay. Genetic content in egg is duplicated and become diploid, enabling seed development without fertilization by sperm. If I explain it briefly, it's like this. Usually, our eggs that we know are haploid. No? They say that without having meiosis, egg is resulted from mitosis, from let's say megaspore mother cell not going through meiosis, they are undergoing through mitosis. So haploid, instead of haploid egg, diploid egg will be resulted. So no fertilization is needed to double the content. It will directly form into a fruit. That is one method. And the other content, haploid ovum fuses with polar nucleus. Again, within the same plant, the content is double. And then genetic content in the egg is duplicated. Once it is formed, it's duplicated. Then an egg cell with 2N is produced in the plant itself. Without fertilization, it is becoming a seed. And these are three methods, right? So this is actually a question in last 2023 paper. I will give you that question as well. We'll go to the significance of development of seed and fruit. Seed. Seed is the dispersal unit of seed plants which contains the embryo and stored food surrounded by the seed coat. The seed habit has a strategy for life on the land. We discussed that. The presence of seed coat helps to survive in extreme conditions. Food reserves provide nourishment to the embryo during development. Dormancy period helps to survive during unfavorable conditions. Adaptations for dispersal give a better chance for growth, development, and survival. Fruits protects the enclosed seeds. When mature, aids in the dispersal by wind, water, or animals. After being dispersed, if the environmental conditions are favorable, seed may germinate to form seed. Inhibition of embryo within the seed at one stage of maturation naturally prevent germination of seeds within the fruit, which is called seed dormancy. There are different ways to break the seed dormancy. You know what? if it is come to rice, you are taking seeds and you are going to keep it wet, and you have to cover it for some time before you germinate them. And if it is rubber seeds, you have to break the seed coat. Different seeds are having different. Some need chilling conditions, some need warmth, right? Different conditions. They are putting it in hot water. Different things are there, right? It is a good strategy. What will happen otherwise? If it is germinated during the unfavorable conditions, it will die. Okay. It says many seeds have mechanisms of inhibiting germination and remain dormant. Presence of inhibitors, presence of thick, strong seed coats, presence of seed coats impervious to water are common causes for seed dormancy. After breaking the seed dormancy, when water, oxygen, and suitable temperature are provided, seeds start to germinate. You can't forget this one. This is much more important. In order to germinate a seed, what are the things needed? Water, oxygen, suitable temperature. So, have you heard that before you planting some seed, you have to put it in water, you have to soak it for some time, overnight sometimes more than that. It says absorption of water, activation of enzymes, mobilization of food resources, followed by rapid growth processes, embryo extending radical through the seed coat called seed germination. Have you seen when the mung beans you are usually doing no experiment, mung beans? So when you soak them in water, what happens there is they are growing a white color radical that is becoming the root. And then plumule comes up and that is making the rest of the plant. Okay. Yeah, radical shows positive geotropism growing towards the gravity, and the plumule shows negative geotropism. And even you plant the seed upside down, this will happen. Okay, because of the gravity. Hmm. Now go to the third unit, and we have finished until the nephrolipis. Start reading until the end of the plant lesson, plant part. Now, do you understand what's the reason why I did fourth lesson before? Now you can easily understand the third lesson stuff. Finish reading third unit stuff. 10 things are there. Ne? They are talking about double fertilization, seeds, fruits, those things. Alright, shall we go to the questions then? Alright, start doing questions in the Anthophytes. If you have anything having doubt, just leave it and go. Just quickly do the questions so that we can go to the questions today itself. Finish with it? Are you done? Had. Right. Can I get one of your tubes? What is the prominent or dominant stage of the life cycle? Sporophytic generation. Describe the features of sporophytes of flowering plants. What are we saying? Photosynthetic, independent, plant body is differentiated into stem, roots, and leaves. Vascular tissues are present. You can't forget the previous stuff. Vascular tissues are present. Next, monoecious or dioecious. Flowers are produced as the reproductive organs. What can you say about roots? Two types of root systems can be there because monocots or dicots both are there in the anthophytes, right? Root system may be taproot system or fibrous root system. You can mention that. You can say that plants are well adapted to the land environment. Found in diverse habitats. Plants are well adapted to the land environment found in diverse habitats. Right, what's the next question? Yes, but answer should be specified. Only some some angiosperms show secondary growth. The dicots are only doing secondary growth. Monocots does not undergo secondary growth. Okay. Next question is the labeling diagram. No, you can do it now. Next one. You know it. What's the reason? To attract pollinators during the daytime. Next question. No use of having colors to attract pollinators. Or you can say that pollinators cannot see the colors at the night time. No? Next. What it is? Stamen. Next one. Sorry, what did you write? Microspore, mother cells undergo meiosis to produce haploid microspores. If you have written with the description, that's all fine. The content should be there. Alright. Next question. What did you write? Read me. That part also should be included. Yeah. Okay. Tell that how the gametophyte is also produced, right? Male gametophyte. Alright. Next question. That answer you have to read a little bit from third unit also. Did you see that they have mentioned there is a pigment called sporopollenin is there in the pigments to prevent from the excess sunlight? Read in third unit and get that point. Sporopollenin. Found? Here, page number 92, production of pollen grains and sperms. Can you see that? The wall of the pollen is tough as it is made up of polymers, sporopollenae, which protects pollen grain during pollination. Are what's the question? Read me the question one more time. Get the answer from both the sections and write it properly. By the way, did you all get the last tune, the Animalia? I think online students didn't get the Animalia tute. I think some of them, not every. If anyone didn't get the tute, ask from me, I'll send you that. You don't have, ne? What's the next question? Two definitions you can get from the book. So the cross pollination, pollen grains are transferred into a mature stigma of a flower of another plant of the same species, ne? Isn't it? Then self fertilization. Of the same plant or another flower from the same plant, not species, same plant. Okay. Next question. That one you have to get the exact answer given. It is allowing shuffling of genes and what else? Producing new genetic variation, which will finally lead to evolution. Write the complete answer accordingly. Okay. Next one. Harpers, no? Next one. How it is formed, we write first. Megaspore, mother cells undergo meiosis to produce one functional megaspore. One functional megaspore develop into female gametophyte. It is a simple structure, microscopic, totally dependent on the sporophyte, and having how many cells? 7 cells, 8 nuclei. Remember it today itself, okay? All right. Next question. Right. Heterostyle, self-infertility, unisexuality. There are some more also. You are given only this three. So remember that three only, right? There's a lot. All right. What else? Next one. You have to describe the answer using these sentences. I'm telling the sentences from the book. Fertilization section, page number 148. 6 points from the top. Fertilization, first 6 points should be there in the answer. And next one. Hmm. Endosperm. Next one. Hmm. Ovary wall becoming the pericarpate, isn't it? Next one. Flower will fall off. Next one. Parthenocarpic fruits. You have to write that. Fruits that do not develop seeds, and you have to say that fruits develop from the ovary without fertilization. Next question. Hmm. Ah, page number 149 about the seed that they have given 4 points. The seed coat, food reserves, dormancy period, adaptations for dispersal, those things should be there in the answer. Next question. Seed dispersal methods. In the Anthophyta, there are four seed dispersal methods. What are four? Rain, water, and animals. What is the other mechanism? Explosive mechanisms also there. It was there in all of us, no? So according to the method of disperse, that they have different adaptations, right? If it is dispersed by wind, it should be lightweight. If it is dispersed by animals, the fruit should be there. And if it is dispersed by water, it should be lightweight and some fibrous structure should be there likewise. Okay. Are we all done? Are you having more? All right. Please do the comparisons and come. I'm not finishing now. Take the Richmond College paper quickly. Do you have it? Who is not having? Anyone who don't have? Anyone else? Boys, do you have paper? Open it. Have the? Koeka. Amat කරන් තියලාද? ආයෙත් ගන්න. එන්න නැවිල ගන්න. එන්න එන්න. එන්නත් බෑ. Sure. Are you ready? I don't have dudes now. Yeah, luckily I have one. All right. I'm discussing the Richmond College first term paper. This is the recent paper. First one, select the study. Line students, I think my mic has got switched off when I'm discussing the paper. So I'll be quickly going through the answers for the MCQ paper, Richmond College MCQ paper. First question, select the studying areas in main branches of biology. Answer number 1. Which is correct from following statements? Answer number 4. Which is the answer with amount of essential elements for organisms to continue healthy life and reproduction? Answer number 1. Question number 4, answer number 4. Question number 5, answer number 1. Question number 6, answer number 5. Question number 7, answer number 2. Question number 8, answer number 2. Question number 9, answer number 5. Question number 10, answer number 3. 11, answer number 3. 12, answer number 2. Oh no, not 2, 3. 12, 3. 13, 4. 14, first answer. 15, second one. 16, third one. 17, third one. 18, first one. 19, second one. 20th, third one. 21st, second one. 22nd, fifth one. 23rd, fifth one. 24th, fifth one. 25th, fifth one. Right, if you have any doubt, please go through the answers. Please ask from me. You can always think why this is correct, why this is wrong, and also sometimes my answers also may be wrong. You can always ask. Right, Bhute. Did you do few questions? How many questions you did? 5? Let's go to the first question, which is incorrect statement regarding comparison of life cycles of Nephrolepis and Selaginella. Nephrolepis produces sori, but Selaginella does not. Correct. Nephrolepis produces one type of gametophyte, while Selaginella produces two types of gametophytes. True. Gametophytes of Nephrolepis are photosynthetic, but those of Selaginella are not. Bit wrong, ne? Female gametophyte of Selaginella is photosynthetic. Let's keep it and go. Antherozoids. What are antherozoids? Sperms, right? Antherozoids of Nephrolepis are multiflagellated, while those of Selaginella are biflagellated. Actually, you are not learning that, but this statement is true. Okay? You are just learning flagellated sperms. Gametophytes of Nephrolepis produce many antheridia, while those of Selaginella produce only a single antheridium. Actually, we are not learning that one. I am taking the third answer as the wrong one. Cut the fifth one. Okay. 11th question. Which of the following incorrect regarding the embryo sac of angiosperm? What is embryo sac? Female gametophyte. The embryo sac contains diploid nucleus. Yes, polar nucleus. Meiosis takes place inside the embryo sac. No, that is the wrong answer. When it is formation, this is happening, but not inside that. Embryo sac is nourished by the nucellus. That is true. Embryo sac gives rise to the endosperm. True. Embryo sac contains only one female gamete. Correct. Which of the following comparisons regarding Pogonatum and Nephrolepis is incorrect? Sporophyte is not differentiated into stem, roots, and leaves. That part is correct. Sporophyte is differentiated. That statement is correct. Gametophyte is bisexual. Gametophyte is bisexual. That statement is wrong. Male gametes are biflagellated, multiflagellated. That is also true. Sporangia are not produced in groups. That means so right. Yeah, that's fourth one is also correct. Zygote does not actually zygote develops into embryo. This question, second one and fifth one both as wrong answers, right? Which is incorrect regarding cycus. Sporophytes are unisexual. Yes. Megasporangium produce several female gametophytes. Wrong. Microsporangia, that part we don't know. Just cut third one. Pollen tube is nourished by nucellus. Yes. Male gametes are multiciliate. That is also we are not learning. Just cut it and write multiflagellated. Nah, multi on nah, just flagellated, right? Rest of the questions, please do it and keep. I'll be discussing online. And also, I'll be giving some more tests regarding this life cycle. So, get ready with that as well. Next week, you have to get good marks for the term test paper, right? Okay? Right. So, everyone, good evening and have a nice day. Please keep studying. You are in a good level, but you have to maintain, okay?